Hey guys, we'll go back to another movie review, and today I just got back from watching Avengers Infinity War. I'm gonna give you guys what I thought of the movie. I'm gonna tell you guys the post-credit scene of the movie and all that stuff. Remember to subscribe if you're new to my channel. If this is gonna contain spoilers, guys, this movie's gonna contain spoilers to this movie. This movie's gonna contain spoilers. I'm gonna tell you guys what happened. Like this movie it just made me feel emotional. This movie was like the worst Marvel movie I ever seen of 2018. I think this is the worst Marvel movie I ever seen because this contains spoilers, guys. But Thanos actually won in this movie. He actually won. Um, I didn't like it. He killed everybody in the movie. Like whenever he wiped out, he got the Infinity Gauntlet all ready. He just snapped his fingers, and he wiped out half the universe, and everyone started dying and all that. I feel bad that Black Panther died, but you guys are saying, well, don't keep your hopes up. They might come back because there's going to be an Avengers 4. Yeah, because next year there is going to be an Avengers 4, which can probably contain time travel and all that stuff. That will contain time travel in this movie, in that next movie, in an Avengers 4. Yeah, but this is a spoiler review, guys. This video contains spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't bother watching this video. If you don't feel like watching Avengers Infinity War, just come here to this channel and I'll tell you guys my thoughts. So this is what really happened, guys. So at the beginning, it starts off with the intro and all that. So it starts off with Thor and Loki on a planet. I don't know what it's called, but it's where Thanos already got the Power Stone, the Purple Stone. I don't know what it's called, but then Loki gives him the Space Stone, and then later he dies. Loki dies, and you can see all the other ones there. There's Imini Maw, all the other villains, and Thanos already got the two stones for Infinity Gauntlet. Well, yeah. And then there is some flashbacks in this movie. There was, speaking of that, guys, there was Stan Lee's cameo. What can start a Marvel movie without Stan Lee? Stan Lee was a bus driver, school bus driver for the school bus scene. But I'll tell you guys that later. So then, Thanos kills Loki by choking him to death, and then, yeah, and later the ship explodes and it shows. Then later Doctor Strange and Wong are there, and then the Hulk actually starts. Hulk comes. Then Hulk comes, and then he starts fighting. He starts fighting Thanos, and Thanos actually just punches him into outer space. And then later Bruce, also known as the Hulk, he falls and he says Thanos is coming, and then it shows shows the title and all that, and it shows Tony Stark's wife or girlfriend, Miss Potts. They're already together, and then Doctor Strange comes, and there's some cool jokes in this. Because here's some things you should know. There is some scenes that you can find emotional. The superhero deaths are emotional. Yeah. And like whenever you see the superheroes, like if you see Captain America, you get the Captain America theme. If you see Spider-Man, you get the Spider-Man theme, or if you see the Guardians of the Galaxy, you can hear what the Guardians would watch. Groot are good in this movie. Groot's in this movie. He's pretty cool in this movie, but too bad he died. I feel bad, but I don't get my hopes up because there's gonna be an Avengers 4. So guys, let me move on to the next scene. Okay, guys. So then later, Spider-Man actually. Peter actually sees the ship. Then his friend tells him to distract him, which he only had like one scene in the movie. Then all that other stuff happens, and then the bus driver says, "Stan Lee is actually the bus driver because who can be a Marvel movie without Stan Lee?" He says, "You haven't seen a real spaceship before?" To keep a distraction, and then later he goes to Iron Man and Hulk and Doctor Strange and all that. And Doctor Strange actually gets captured by Imini Maw. And there's an actual joke in this where Tony Stark calls Imini Maw Squidward. And that actually cracked me up in this movie where he called him Squidward, but he doesn't have a big nose. Because he does actually look like Squidward in this movie. Imini Maw actually looks like Squidward. It's kind of cool, but that was kind of funny as well. But yeah, that's what happened. And then later, Spider-Man gets his Iron Suit because he couldn't breathe whenever the ship was going up. And then Iron Man gives him the suit, and then whenever he has the suit on, he says, "Whoa, this smells like a new car." And I was like, "This is a new car smell." And then that was cool. Then later they get onto the ship, and then later what else happens? Oh, speaking of that, guys, Hawkeye and Ant-Man are not in this movie. Hawkeye and Ant-Man are not in this movie. Like, they didn't actually appear in this movie. I didn't miss a scene of this movie. Then later, of course, you see Vision and Scarlet Witch in Europe, and he's in Vision still has that Infinity Stone inside his head, and then they're actually in Europe. He actually gets stabbed by one of Thanos' henchmen, and then Captain America and Black Widow and Falcon come to save them, and then they go back to the Avengers base where they meet War Machine and all that. That was cool. Then of course the Avengers meet the Guardians and all that, and that's where Thor actually meets all the other Avengers, meets the Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course you can of course there was a funny scene where Star Lord actually was flipping off Thanos in that, and that's all the spoilers I wanted to say. I don't want to do too many spoilers, but the things I liked about this movie was that there is some scenes that are emotional. Like, there was a flashback where Gamora has a flashback where she can't find her mom, and then Thanos comes and takes her, and then she raises her. He raises her, and then that becomes her son. And then later there was like a then later he gives she dies by sacrificing herself by Thanos making her fall, and then she died. I feel bad for that. I feel bad for Gamora. And then later, of course, Thor gets his new hammer by Groot. Groot actually cuts off his arm, a little bit of his arm, because he may have a tree, and then he makes an axe for Thor. And then later, they're actually in the Wakandan battle. Captain America are there. Like, all the ones there are Vision, Scarlet Witch, Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, Black Panther, Wike or whatever. Hulk's there, where he's in the Hulkbuster suit, and he can't turn into the Hulk because like he was smashed down so hard that it nearly took away his powers. And all the others there, War Machine, Bucky, also known as the Winter Soldier, are there as also. Rocket's there and Groot, and then they're all fighting and they have all that stuff. I really like this, but Thanos, he said that whenever he snaps his fingers and wipes out half the universe, he can rest and look at the sunset. And guys, that really ticked me off in this movie, is that Thanos actually wiped out half the universe, because then of course he takes the Mind Stone away from Vision, and then he puts it on the gauntlet, and then Thor comes. This is like toward the end of the movie. This is the ending explained, where he stabs where Thor stabs the axe inside his chest. And he said, "You should have aimed for the head." Then he snaps his fingers on the Infinity Gauntlet, and then the whole universe is wiped. And then later, all the Avengers are starting to wipe out. They're all starting to die. The only people that were surviving were Captain America, uh, the others. Falcon died. War Machine's still alive. All those other ones. Black Panther died. I didn't want Black Panther to die, but yeah, the Wakandan battle was great, of course, but I just feel bad for this movie. I think this is the worst movie I've ever seen for Avengers. I feel bad for that. I feel bad because Thanos actually won, and at the end of the scene, you can actually see Thanos looking at the sunset and smiling, and then that ends the movie. That's where it ends all the movie, and that was really emotional. I think that was the worst movie I've ever seen for Avengers Infinity War. I think that was the worst movie I've ever seen. I think that was the worst I've ever seen. So, guys, this is what happened in the post-credit scene. I stayed for the post-credit scene. So, of course, you see a guy driving with his assistant, and guess who it is, guys? It is Nick Fury, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Nick Fury. Nick Fury is actually looking, and then time's actually being erased because the wiped out the universe because of Thanos and all that. And of course he's getting he's the uh 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 sorry about the stuttering, guys, but Nick Fury actually fades away, and then you can see he was trying to dial somebody, but there was a logo of Captain Marvel. Of course, that's going to be the next movie of Captain Marvel. Because how can they kill the Avengers? Because there's going to be an Avengers 4 where there's going to be time travel and all that. I hope they get to defeat Thanos in this movie. I hope they can defeat him. But Thanos actually won in this movie, guys. I feel bad for that Thanos actually won. I feel bad about that, but movies are movies, guys. It totally sucked. I didn't like it. I think it's worse than the movie Truth or Dare. I think that was the worst movie I've ever seen. And yeah, that's it for my spoiler review, guys. Please put a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. Go buy that merchandise for Avengers Infinity War. Buy the Funko Pops, the merchandise, and all that stuff. And yeah, buy all the posters and all that stuff. I hope you guys can enjoy the movie yourselves and do your thoughts on it. That's it for my spoiler video today. Please put a like on this video and subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.